Good evening, friends, and welcome to another episode of Tim Kirby Russia, where we are color coordinated. We're matching today. Our returning guest, Sonia van den Ende, is here today to talk to us because it's a very interesting, I guess, I don't know what you'd want to call it, anniversary or holiday for some. It's the 75th birthday of East Germany. And you wrote an article recently about all this, and I was kind of surprised by some of it, that maybe this whole unification of Germany didn't quite happen the way we all perceive it in the West. So, Sonia, could you tell us a little bit about how the two Germanys actually came back together, and how legitimate was it?
Well, they came together in 1990. Officially, you hear in the mainstream media and the politicians in the West. But actually, if you look at it very good, there were two treaties. The first one was the Potsdam Treaty. That was straight after World War II. This was in Potsdam, a small place close to Berlin. There, the big powers, the three big powers were there, and making up a treaty in which this treaty clearly said that, I think the main important thing is that Germany was not allowed to use any weapons, not to transfer any weapons to any country if there's a conflict, if there's a war.
Oh.
And so they had to have
that's interesting because that rule has changed recently for sure.
Yeah, we know. And this is, remember, we had this leak from this big general in Germany a while ago from RT, Margarita Simonian had this. There, they had this discussion about, sending weapons and how to do it actually in another way, because they know, like Scholz, they know that sending weapons to a conflict is illegal in Germany. It's not allowed at all. So coming back to this treaty, it said it in this treaty, and we know all that from then on, Germany was divided in East and in West Germany. And East was under the influence of Russia or the Soviet Union that time, and the West under the US. They still are, but okay. And later on, in 1990, they had the unification. The wall came down, and there was a new treaty. It's called the 2+4 Treaty. And in this treaty, the powers from World War II, so they again came together and they again signed a new treaty. And again, in this new treaty, it says clearly Germany is not allowed to send any weapons to a war-torn country, or they're even, I think, producing, I don't know exactly if that was in there. I have to dig deeper into all these documents. They are now available. But for sure, they are not allowed to send the weapons. And they did. And they're still doing. Not only to Ukraine, but also 30% of the weapons from which are produced in Germany are going to Israel.
Oh.
So it's quite a lot, we can say. And it's illegal. So, and also, another point is that when the unification came with East and West Germany, usually in countries you have a referenda, like we had with Crimea, so the people can vote if they want to be part of it or not. It never happened. So the government from Eastern Germany just said, okay, now we are West Germany, and we are one Germany, and that's it.
So what was the actual thing that happened? Do you mean literally that just the government of East Germany, when they sort of realized they were in trouble and things were falling apart, they just sort of threw up their hands? Or is there some sort of like declaration where, I don't know the proper term, where the Communist Party of East Germany said, we surrender formally and we are going to become part of Germany? Is there any paperwork at all?
No, there's not.
Oh.
And there was some talks, remember, with Gorbachev and Kohl, Bundeskanzler Kohl from Germany, and they spoke. And also in this, they said, okay, we will not let NATO become closer to Russia, or not even let the ex-Warsaw Pact states become part of NATO. Well, we know the outcome. It all happened, and this is what they claim. They say, well, we never have it written on paper, so there's no treaty, no nothing. So okay, why, Russia, what are you concerned about? It's not there. So, but of course, there maybe are some documents. Still, I have to dig in deeper. But the point is that actually the East German people never officially, what I said, they didn't have a referendum, they didn't vote, nothing to become part of West Germany or the whole of Germany now. And also they became part of the United Nations, also in an illegal way, because, yeah, what I said, officially, Eastern Germany did not surrender on paper. So, yeah, they were took over like a coup, like coup d'etat. And in one day, it's crazy, in one day, the army was gone, the government was gone, everything was gone. So just in one day,
And that
imagine
sort of
this.
begs the question then, where did the actual government of East Germany, I don't mean like your average person who works at some office, but like the elite, where did they go? Did they just put on different suits and continue to be the government as part of a solid, united Germany, or what happened to them?
Some of them did because they were, like used as spies, we can say, but a lot of them did not. So they went to jail. A few of them went to jail, not long, but they did. Honecker, okay, he was the leader. He escaped to Chile, so he died there. Then we had Modrov. He surrendered himself to the West, and he was cooperating with the West in every aspect. We have another one, Wolf. He was the man without the face, they said, Marcus Wolf. He was the spy master in East Germany, and he was on the loose somehow, I don't know, for 1-2 years. And, well, they finally catched him, or he surrendered, and he went to jail. Yeah. So a lot of them went to jail.
But one question is, what were they exactly guilty of? Because when the Germans created the horrors of World War II, they created, they did all sorts of absolutely, horrific things to people in Eastern Europe, and it makes sense why they were punished. But East Germany, I mean, they were repressive, and they wouldn't let people leave, which from a Western perception is not a good thing to do. But what exactly were the crimes per se, other than being on the harsh side of governance?
Well, actually, if you look at it clearly, not really big crimes. Because, as you said, the wall was built, I think, in the 60s somehow. And, okay, people who did wrong, they went in jail. Okay, maybe they were tortured. I don't know. Some of them say, yes, we were tortured because we wanted to escape to the West, or, we did not comply with the regime, as they call it. But, and of course, everybody, it was like a spy state, everybody was spying on your neighbor, on your daughter. So this was not a very good thing. But apart from that, they didn't do a real crime against the people. I mean, they educate them, they gave them houses, free schooling, free medical care. So, this was terrific, I think. I mean, in the West, you have to pay everything. You know how expensive everything is. So, real big crimes, no.
Well, yeah. Well, because I can say one thing, though, is that their system, I don't think, was that radically different from the Soviet Union or a lot of the other communist countries. They all had at some point, although some countries have changed, like Cuba used to have the whole rule where you can't leave Cuba without special permission. They got rid of that. But, that seems pretty universal. So it's kind of one thing is, why were the East German authorities punished when it seems like in other places they weren't? So that's kind of interesting.
Well, yeah, because they were close to the other part of Europe, the capitalistic part of Europe, of course. I mean, Germany, the other part of Germany, the BND, the Bundesrepublik Germany, and of course, the US is occupying the whole of Germany now, but before that, it was occupying Western Germany. I mean, in Germany, you have the largest military base of whole Europe, where the drone base is, and Ramstein, all the big guys are going there when they have to discuss Ukraine or something else. So this is another problem. And Eastern Germany, what I said, it was very close. And in my opinion, it was okay, this country. I was never there when it was, I always wanted to go. But okay, we had the wall, so we couldn't. But there's, this is the big thing. This is what the West is doing, trying to blame communist part, or that it was bad and everything was bad. But I don't think so. That's what they do exactly now. What they do with Russia now, other countries who don't comply with the West. So this is the whole problem. Back then already.
Yeah, well, I could say, at least during the Cold War, you could say that the communist countries were objectively poorer. Like if you look around what people had, how they lived, they were definitely sort of like a step down. Now that there isn't much of a difference, and maybe we could even argue that to an extent, sort of Eurasia's on the rise, and their quality of life might even be higher. It's kind of like I was just having a discussion on this very channel about, you mentioned medical care. And people always ask me, is the medical care good in Russia or not? Well, because I'm a person who didn't come from money in the United States, it's the question of no medical care versus something. You know? So I kind of look at things differently than maybe someone in Europe who might be very happy with their, what we call socialized medicine or whatever. But anyways, that's another topic. So to what extent is there any kind of like cultural or ideological divide in Germany today? Because I see sort of like memes and stuff that shows that in East Germany, people tend to think more this way about a lot of political things, in West Germany a different way. But it's kind of hard to believe, because if you think about it, okay, from World War II to the end of World War II to like 1990, so what, that's 45 years. And now it's been 30 years. So it's almost the same amount of time. Are there still really like ideological and cultural divides between East and West Germany? Or is this just weird stuff from the internet?
No, it's really true. There's a cultural aspect. It's they are socialists. They were socialists, we say, communist, socialist, and a lot of them still are. And now things are going worse, and now worse. They're very bad in Germany, the economy and everything. So they still have this thing about, yeah, remember when it was communist, it was much better than it is now. And one big thing is after. When it was reunification, some people came there. It was a group, and it was called the Treuhand. And the Treuhand had the task to had a look at all the factories, because what you said, it was very poor, and it was very terrible at the end of Eastern Germany. So they had to look if it's still okay, this factory, can we go on with it, or we just have to close it down and let all the people go. A lot of factories closed, and a lot of people were unemployed, and a lot of these people never found any job anymore, because the education system was, quite different.
Yeah.
And so they kept all these things in their mind, and maybe, put them on to the next generation and told them how it was. And so they're still in their hearts, I think, and you can also see from the people, they are still... Yeah, they are socialist, communist, a lot of them, not all, I would say, a little bit with capitalism, of course, because some things were good. But you see now, they now say, the elderly ones, look, this is what is happening to Germany, was the same we did. In 1989, we went on the streets and we said, we sind das Volk, and, we cannot tolerate what is happening to Germany. Germany is going down the drain, and it's like that, it's really like that. So. And they are now accused of being right extremists, which is crazy, because they actually, a lot of them are socialists and communists. So, I mean, this is, you see, this is very, very terrible. So the difference is very huge at the moment in Germany.
Well, because there's a big difference between sort of the international communists or global communists and the sort of or socialism in one country sort of logic that grew out of... the early communist revolutions, when it became clear that a world revolution isn't going to work. Let's just try to do this in one place. But anyways, so the thing is with these people, I could sort of see that they see that things in the past might have actually had some benefits. But is there any sort of like action? Is there some sort of group that says East Germany 2.0, let's do this again? Like, is there any kind of political will for that? Or do you mean that Germans all over the country have had enough with the madness of modern day European politics?
I think the majority have enough in Germany, but I think more in Eastern Germany is what I said, the reasons why. So I think they are going on the streets like they did in '89 every Monday in every town in Germany. They go. They did this already under the COVID, because they said, every week they went, and this was only actually nearly in Eastern Germany. So they are more, what can you say? They are used to this communism, to types of demonstrations and so on. So. Yeah, it's really more. And sometimes I think, maybe they're going to have a new Eastern Germany again, who knows? But I don't think so. That will not happen. And of course, you cannot put the clock back in time. So they have to find a new system, a better system maybe. But you see the new party, Alternative für Deutschland, has become very big, especially in Eastern Germany, and also Sarah Wagenknecht. That's more like socialism with Sarah Wagenknecht. So they became the heroes in Eastern Germany. So that is why they became so big. And also we should not forget all the elderly people speak Russian, a lot of them.
Oh, wow.
Because of Russia, Yeah. So on the school they had Russian and so on. So they feel more for the conflict. They, I say half or maybe more are in favor of Russia. So these all things play together, and they see now what is Western Germany, or in their mind it's still Western Germany, what they are doing. And so I think it's it's a not funny situation, dangerous I would not call it too, but I don't know, it's on the brink of collapse, the whole of Germany, that's for sure. And of course nobody knows what will happen. But to come back on this treaty, I mean, Russia has said already, because Germany is sending weapons to Ukraine, weapons for peace, they call it. And so they can say, okay, it's the end of the treaty. It's the end of the 2+4 treaty, and it's the end of the treaty.
I see. Oh, there's the loophole. That's oh, interesting.
Yeah. That's why I wrote in my article, it might be the end of the celebration.
Now, has anyone in let's just say Russia noticed your article? Because I think that there might be certain people in fancy suits who could be very interested in that sort of logic.
Yeah. Some of them have noticed. Yes. Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, anyway, Sonia, I don't want to keep you too long today, but do you have anything else to tell my audience here about the situation in East Germany that might surprise them, or have we kind of gone over this story pretty well?
We've gone over the story pretty well. Well, we can say there is a big difference between East and West, not only Eastern Germany perhaps, but also in Hungary, in Slovakia, between the Western Europe and Eastern Europe. Most of Eastern Europeans don't want this war against Russia, because it's a war from NATO, we can say proxy war. Western Europeans, if you ask them, how do you feel about Ukraine? Oh, crazy, Russia is crazy. And of course they come up with Mr. Putin is a dictator, and the whole story. But if you go to the East, they will not tell you that. Only Poland. This is a funny country, crazy country, I call them. They hate Germans and they hate Russians.
Well, this is they're stuck between a rock and a hard place, as we say in English. Well, the thing is, too, there was that recent the prank by that Wovan and Lexus, and they talked to one of the major Polish politicians. I forget which one, but it doesn't matter. But the thing is when the cameras are off, though, all of a sudden he was kind of like, we don't even want this war. We don't really want this. But when the cameras are on, we have to hate. We have to hate Germany a little bit and hate Russia a lot. So
But the difference with like Poland or the other Eastern European countries and the West, like the Netherlands where I'm from, or Germany, is that the politicians, like now Mark Rutte, he's head of NATO from the Netherlands, he really hates Russia. And in the Netherlands it's because of MH17. And in maybe Germany, it's still because of World War II, because, I know it's a long time ago, but still this is alive, in Germany, because the US is occupying them as well. But so these are all the problems we face. And maybe after so many years, and now we can see the collapse of Germany, especially Germany, maybe this all comes back to the people. What happened then? And they see maybe they see, it's happening somehow again now in 2024.
All right. Well, Sonia van den Ende, thank you very much for your time, guys. I will have her article in the description, but you'll have to use Google Translate to view it properly in your browser. But anyway, Sonia, thank you for being on the program, and hope to see you again soon.
Thanks, Tim.